the early game.
Yeah, and I think for the side of JDG, their draft is completely as expected with these players, adding in the slight pivot point of did they want to go for the Azir for Yagao or go for the jungle carry for Kanavi. This Graves has been such a premier pick here at the overall tournament. The premier carry jungle champion. See if he can put it to use.
I mean, it's quite a statement to make if you go into the first game of the best of 5 and absolutely dominate in the jungle there. I'm excited to see it. The players are loading onto the Rift. New York, would you please make some noise for the first quarterfinal game here at Worlds 2022? Rogue and JDG. A best of 5. You saw in the fan vote, there was a lot of faith in Rogue, almost as much as there was in JDG, but it was pretty close. It's a lot closer than what I saw on the Pick'em site, which heavily favored the Chinese representatives.
Now, the all-time head-to-head in best of 5s between the LPL and the LEC is 8-4 in favor of the LPL. While Europe have been able to upset here and there historically, LPL has always had Europe's number, but now we get to see the LPL's #1 seed against the LEC's #1 seed, the best of the best from both regions. Let's see what both teams can bring.
Champions versus champions right here. LPL versus EU. And the crowd going wild. Early some vision down here on bottom side, trying to get vision both of the brush as well as possible early alert for a late invade. There is a sweeper already started for Kanavi on the Graves, so maybe you get a late invade towards top side of the map as well. Ping's coming out already.
And I like this on a champion like Graves, who is such an adept duelist in the early game, being able to come out on top in a lot of these skirmish situations. And there it is, JDG with a late invade. Odoamne will see them there, but won't do anything about it.
I love doing this for Graves jungle, especially when you do have the matchup on the other side of the map like that 2 split. Meaning, Malrang also always does this control ward start, whether it is Jarvan or the Vi here, placing the extra vision through a little pixel brush on bottom side to allow for some of those ganks towards the bottom side river.
See Larssen already looking to get the push in the mid lane. He has dropped that little ward to keep an eye on what Kanavi is up to. We'll see how Malrang adapts his pathing. He will spot out the Graves doing the Raptors. You would expect Malrang to go from blue and then move towards the bot side of Kanavi's jungle. The problem he has no push in the bot lane. You may be able to usurp that with the fact that Larssen has the push in mids, but Kanavi's going to come through and help alleviate some of that pressure.
Yeah, it's just so nicely done here from JDG, setting up for jungle success. They showed early priority on the Graves champion, and now with this counter jungle splitting through the other side, you take away so much area that Malrang has to work with here. He's going to get his level 3 on his Vi off of purely this blue quadrant of the jungle, but now it gets difficult for him because he's kind of forced into making a gank or going all the way up towards countering the blue quadrant there of Kanavi.
And he is pathing up towards that northern half of the map. His own top laner is very far extended here as Odo is taking control of the lane nice and early, getting 369 shoved in. He will want to crash this wave up here. In the meantime, Malrang clearing out the Krugs, the one camp that was left, not stolen away by Kanavi.
And a good job here. Kanavi crosses back, so he's just eliminating any other possible areas for Malrang to farm right now. After Krugs, gonna come over and look for the Scuttle Crab fight. Odoamne is pushing up, so nice to have your pushing top side here. Maybe Malrang will be able to get over for spawn of Scuttle Crab, but Odo taking a pretty big trade.
Really good trade from Odoamne. But 369, he's going to be looking for it. He doesn't know that the Vi's here, though.
369, you'd think he would have saw it right there in the brush, but no! The damage comes out. 369 with 100 HP, still trying to get away from this one. He'll survive. And now Kanavi's made his way into the top side river. It's a flash coming out. Oh! There won't be a kill just yet. 1 for 1 here in the top laners as Kanavi versus Malrang now turns into a duel. It's a level advantage here for Kanavi. Malrang getting himself back into the brush, charging up the Vault Breaker. Kanavi doesn't want to give him an easy target. Teleports, bringing both top laners back into the fight, back into the mix. Odo shows up and protects Malrang's exit.
Ooh, it is in the end, first blood for Rogue. They get the kill first there for Odo, and with the lane pushing back towards him, immediate teleport right back out. He's gonna be in a pretty good state as soon as he's able to equalize that wave. Meanwhile, Malrang did use flash there on the Vi and teleporting back. The only problem is there is exact timer for Kanavi on these Raptors, so Kanavi should be able to get second steal on the Raptor camp from Malrang as well. Continue to counter jungle jungle it, and there he goes right for it as well. That's going to be number 2 taken off.
Kanavi's whole pathing this early game has been immaculate. The fact that he started red into Raptors, moved into his bot side Raptors to cover for the potential invade into his red buff. He then pathed up towards his blue, saying the other option that Malrang has, if he doesn't come into the bot side, he could try and cross-map top side. He covered for that as well. And then he was in a position to cover for the early gank as well, and ends up trading 1-for-1. So overall, really smart pathing, and he's a large part of why they were able to get something off the back of this. Now you can see Odoamne, what looks like a bad trade initially, in 369 sees a window. He knows the Renekton cooldowns are very high early on. Malrang at the last second though shows up and is able to come in for the counter gank. But at this point, they're not quite close enough to get the kill. It's the moment that 369 comes back into the lane that Odoamne sees his window.
And Odo knows there's no flash on 369, so he goes right for it. Flash, hits the stun, slice and dice in. Even though he has to take the tower shot, does get the first blood bonus. Then in the aftermath, Kanavi obviously pushing that wave as well, and Odo teleporting back. So look at this. You have to take into account not just the first blood, but also the CS afterwards with that big pushing wave. Quite nice for the Renekton in the 1-versus-1. So while Malrang has sustained a bit of a deficit in the jungle, and that's just a single small Raptor that he clears out there because it was counter jungle, Kanavi leaving one behind, it does mean that Odo is set up for success.
The awkward thing for Malrang, though, is his whole pathing has kind of been messed up now in terms of this early game. He's still able to help out his top lane and get a bit of an advantage, and I think that was really important, especially in the Odo versus 369 matchup. But when you look at this Lucian Nami, this is the lane that you typically want to try and enable. The only plan here I can see for Rogue is as we get closer to the 8-minute mark with the Renekton being stronger, Rogue is looking to try and contest that first Herald, and then they bring it down towards the bot side of the map to then involve this Lucian and Nami more into the game.
And it's nice that we're seeing as well the reason why we keep talking about, whoa, Odo getting quite low here with ult.
We got a little bit of a scuffle. Odo goes into ulti. Kanavi's coming up through the brush. Rogue have their jungler nearby. Malrang is undetected for now. Kanavi throwing a bunch of damage straight into the brush there. Dashes forward, puts a bullet in his back. Malrang has to run, and JDG just get the better of him.
Kanavi once again in the perfect position on the map. Level 6 for the Graves, 50 CS now at just short of 7 minutes. This man has been leveraging his early priority perfectly and has been putting on a jungle masterclass within the first 7 minutes of the game.
And every jungler knows this feeling. It is so nice to be this ahead on Graves. Getting to your early serrated Dirk, a massive power spike there. He's going for the red steal, and Odoamne wants to protect it one for his jungler.
Malrang coming in too, but they won't be able to close that distance. Kobe, I like how you're saying every jungler knows this feeling, talking about being ahead. I think everybody knows what it feels like playing against fed Graves, and it is not a good time. Kanavi taking over the early game here and forcing out a flash in the mid lane from Larssen.
Meanwhile, we have seen why this Aphelios plus Lulu has been kind of the popular answer into the Lucian Nami early on. Hope and Missing doing an absolutely amazing job down there on the bottom side. Since there was so much jungle attention focused towards the top side of the map, they were left completely alone in the 2v2 and have been able to utilize that extra early power there to be able to get a nice little bit of a CS lead for themselves. Off of the early recalls, though, see if it starts to turn back around.
It's so impressive to see how Kanavi plays around where he has pressure on the map. And as you rightly said, Kobe, this bot lane just keeps leveraging their range. The early range advantage that they have means that they can just keep pushing, and they don't have to worry about the enemy jungle because of what Kanavi is doing on the map. It's this great relationship between jungler and laners that's basically giving JDG a lot of options, and you can see now they've been able to accrue a small early game gold advantage, and a lot of that is sitting on Kanavi, who's now level 7.
And it's a perfect timing for Kanavi to recall after that blue buff steal. Once you get this power spike of the Umbral Glaive, you have so much vision control as well as burst potential here for Kanavi. So level 7 with the Umbral Glaive, the first completed item in the entire game. And of course the zombie wards, you get to take away and make the map completely dark for Rogue while putting up your own.
And that vision control scales with your lead, because all of a sudden you walk into a brush that you don't have control over. That Graves can threaten 100-0 against you if you're not ready for it. We'll see how he's able to utilize that and keep this tempo going here. As Larssen's got control over the mid lane, you can see that is one of the bigger CS advantages that Rogue have found for themselves. Just about 9 minutes into the game, Herald is up. Kanavi's here in the top side river again, but there is vision of this pit. Rogue does have the ward there in the back. Kanavi's gonna find it.
And they're going for this off of the support recall timer. You see the roam here from Lulu. Missing goes straight out through mid lane, roams over to support this play on Herald. I think Rogue gonna make the correct call here, give that up and play towards the bottom side instead.
Ooh, nice little bit of a juggle there from 369, knocking Odoamne back into him away from the turret. 369 not afraid to aggressively use these ultimates just to trade, get some advantages here in the lane. Kanavi's gonna secure the Eye of the Herald there for the side of JDG, as Rogue has Malrang and Trymbi working together to take down the first Drake of the game. Not an exceptionally quick one, not an exceptionally slow one, but it will be that first Cloud Drake here for the side of Rogue. Missing will see them take it with the ward over the wall into the pit, but that's about it. So objectives traded across the map here with those first two neutrals.
The main problem for Rogue now is the way in which JDG can use this. Good knockback, good damage.
Nicely done. Remember, Larssen doesn't have a flash. Malrang's thinking about coming in, but Larssen gets himself away enough. Loses a big chunk of HP there, and this is now going to free up Yagao to roam with Kanavi and look for an opportunity elsewhere.
And you can see the attention to detail there from JDG as well. They're immediately pinging out. Malrang could probably be here on bottom side through this river for the Vi counter, so they don't overchase. Just get their little chunk, push out the wave, and continue rotating through. Bottom Scuttle Crab picked up, and a little bit of extra vision left through the blue quadrant.
I just can't get over how well Kanavi is playing this early game. You can see the gold that he's been able to accrue for himself. Level 8 now on the Graves. His farming has been immaculate, his positioning has been great, and it's just, he is making it so easy for the JDG laners to play. We can see how oppressive Larssen is being in the isolated 1v1, and the second he sees a small window where he can push the lead, Kanavi is there. Every time the top lane's in danger, Kanavi is there. Oh, the bot lane wants to push out, Kanavi is there. He's literally just covering for every single laner, and Rogue feels very limited in terms of what options they have in the early game.
Yeah, he's done a magnificent job actually manipulating his route so he can both deny some camps to Malrang as well as support the lanes in their need. It's something Kanavi has really shown through with.
And you can see in the build, too, with that Umbral Glaive already completed, like you mentioned, Kobe, now with the Iron Spike Whip going towards the Gore Drinker, you're up against a short-range AD carry and 2 melee fighters. That's going to be a lot of team fight healing once we start getting into these bigger fights.
Yeah, the bow build definitely found a lot of success with that one as well. Missing and Kanavi coming over with a double jungle support team up here towards mid lane.
Just going to look to get the push in and then start to test this vision in the bot side of the map. We can see the Lucian moving back out onto the map as well. Looked like he was pathing towards mid, decided against that. Odoamne does have the TP, but it's not quite unleashed. It looks like there's no real objective. It's just a bit of a dance for these river wards for now.
Yep, still 2 more minutes before those teleports become unleashed, and 2 minutes is also how much time remains on the Eye of the Herald. Remember that Kanavi secured it, but it has not been used yet. He and Yagao were roaming towards bottom, seeing if there was an opportunity there earlier after chunking out Larssen, but it didn't turn into anything. So I'm curious where JDG is going to choose to use this, because they've got about 60 seconds left.
Yeah, I would love it if they could just pop it mid lane here, because you really want to unlock Yagao on this Taliyah. He just finished Crown, has ultimate ready, can start to make some roam plays. So if you spend extra resources, get a little bit of a pressure gank there, and plus take down on some of the turret plates, some security. Move in for some extra counter jungling first, though, as he takes away red buff and looks for the dive.
Oh boy. Let's see here.
Now that they've given up their information, though, knowing there's a ward in here that is scouted out for Rogue, there's probably going to be a cover, assuming they're for Kanavi, so he immediately moves off, and on their own control behind red buff, they do see the support coming from Rogue, so they don't overextend.
For now, Rogue just going to play on the defensive once again. I imagine the next big point of contention will be the dragon spawning in about a minute and a half. Let's see where this Herald ends up going. Kanavi making a beeline towards the bot side of the map. You can see they have the push. Trading continues in the top lane, but I really don't expect either top laner to be able to kill each other. Oh, they're actually going to drop the Herald mid. This was something you were talking about, Kobe. Odoamne is starting to get much lower, but I imagine he'll just go back to base. Does have the TP to return to lane.
Yeah, 369 having the Mythic completed with that Iceborne Gauntlet is so scary compared to Odo still just working with components. That's going to be a kill! A nice shove from Yagao sets it up for Kanavi to knock it down.
And the surprise Pikachu face comes up here from missing there with Yagao just getting a pick for free under tower while they're sieging. They just walk away with it. Hope, though.
Hope a little bit far forward now in a 1v2. He will fall, and Rogue will find the kill for Comp.
What a bold move here from Malrang. That timing window was very close. Malrang says, hey, they're taking my blue right now because we lost mid-pressure. We have a small timing window. maybe 10 seconds to go for this kill onto Hope while he's by himself. He does not hesitate for Rogue there. Ultimate in on the Vi, nice little pickup in a bad situation.
So we're 14 minutes in now. We were talking about this being a big moment, like the Drake is going to spawn soon. Turret plates on your screen, 800 golden plates for JDG versus absolutely no plates taken for Rogue. The laning phase going the way of the LPL squad. Let's take another look at how Yagao found this, because wham bam.
Yeah, the Herald charge moves Trymbi out a little bit, and then he walks a little bit forward there. Yagao, right with the seismic shove, insta kills, but this is that little timing window we're talking about.
Yeah, you called it perfectly, Kobe, because I was just about to comment on how JDG are going to get so much off the back of this play. Their eyes were set on securing that bot tower as well, and if it weren't for that play from Malrang, this whole situation could have looked a lot worse. JDG now starting off the Drake, choosing not to go for it. Trymbi has managed to sneak into the brush.
Oh, Trymbi's ready to go with the ulti coming out, and once again, there's no hope for Hope. Comp gets another.
So, Rogue are finally able to get a little bit more action out onto the map. Malrang is finding opportunities as we see more fighting in the top lane.
Top lane just never ends up here. Odo trying to scrap with him a little bit, but 369 is unafraid.
And that should be a bottom side objective start for Rogue as well. Really nice call. In the first gank, Malrang, he burns both summoners off of Hope, and now they're thinking immediately, punish this AD carry. No summoner spells on Hope. So Trymbi swims his way into the side brush, and Rogue capitalize on it and earn themselves an objective back. That's 2 dragons actually stacking very quickly.
And Fedius, I do believe it was you who said you wanted to see Rogue play through the bot lane, right? You wanted to see them go here and prioritize these guys, enable these guys. Comp having 2 kills, having the Gale Force feels nice. Trymbi with a nice sidestep against the seismic shove. Make sure that he doesn't get picked off by Yagao. He and Malrang invading the enemy jungle now, setting up JDG for more success here in the bottom lane. Setting up Rogue for more success here in the bottom lane, excuse me, as JDG are the ones taking the second Herald here in the top side.
Yeah, it's a weird map state right now as Yagao forced to flash out.
Yeah.
Malrang should be getting his first red buff of the game as Odoamne finds himself in some danger.
Yeah, 369 keeping him away from his own turret here, just allowing that to devour the entire minion wave. He's got missing right next to him to guarantee that Odo can't just force himself back underneath this objective. And now that Kanavi's up here, he's got the second Herald. JDG's going for the cross map.
But look at bot lane. Malrang has the ultimate and he knows that Yagao is around. With no flash available, Rogue could continue to push in this bot side of the map. There are pings on the mid lane tower. Here comes the ult.
Okay, it's not going to find a whole lot.
There goes the ult.
That was swing and a miss.
Honestly, though, Yagao respected that play so much. That's why he flashed over the red buff wall. As soon as he saw Malrang on his screen, he was like, that R button, it better not touch me or I'm going to die. So flash down from the earlier jungle invade, it was why he was respecting it so much. And Rogue did a good job to try and leverage it, get as much out of it as they could.
And we spent a lot of the early game praising Kanavi for his pathing, for his decision-making, for the way he was playing the game. But Malrang has come alive now, making some good choices of his own, utilizing the threat and the power of this targeted ultimate against these immobile carries. Yagao's trying to get out. No flash, no way. There comes the Vi ulti. There goes the mid laner. There's Larssen getting the kill.
It's a situation where Rogue is finding a number of picks, but JDG is cross-mapping well. They have pressure in the mid lane right now. Odoamne is making his way down, and he's looking to make a play on mid.
They see him, though. They see him.
Oh, Kanavi's going to eat a lot of the culling there, using ulti to get some distance. Odo won't be able to collapse in time, so JDG get out, but they will not claim the second turret.
Yeah, and look at all these wards. It's all these wards that give JDG the early alert here through the jungle. And they're going to go for another red buff steal. Kanavi will not stop.
Kanavi going in and securing that red, gets him to level up to 12. Odoamne, the blast cone nearly seals his fate, but Comp's ready to go in. Missing in Hope, trying to walk away from it, as Kanavi is going to be shut down by Trymbi. Comp still ready to go, but he misses the piercing light on a missing. Rogue still looking to take the fight a little bit further, but JDG are making distance. You can see Malrang coming up through the river, seeing if there's an angle to cut these guys off. Tier 1 turret still standing. Vault Breaker being charged. Malrang not going to find a whole lot off of it here just yet. Trymbi is going aggressive as there he goes. 369 picks him up as Hope and Missing are stuck in the side brush. Hope with a nice flash. Now Larssen's here in a 1v2. Missing goes down and Larssen goes over the wall. He's safe and he got paid to do it.
What a chase! This is madness! Rogue over 3 walls, and now they might be trapped. Yagao looking for it.
We're not done yet. Yagao's ready to finally join up in the fight. Malrang still has the ultimate. Keep that one in mind. 369's gonna lead the way. Malrang just backing inside the brush. He is a secret agent behind enemy lines.
That was actually so big for Rogue, though. They've almost evened up the gold, and they're still ahead the 2 dragons. These picks for Rogue have been paying off.
I'm so confused as to what I just watched, gentlemen. That was a crazy series of events.
You watch Rogue coming back!
But it's one of those things is Rogue is typically the calm, calculated team. Like, they'll fight you, but this was just blind chasing from Rogue. They were bloodthirsty for these kills, and like, this initial start looked horrendous. Odoamne forced to flash out, but look at the play here from Comp, melting the backline of JDG and killing Kanavi right off the bat. It was at this point that I think Rogue could have called it a day, but no, they wanted more.
They certainly did. The bloodlust here, especially with Trymbi. The Nami wave initially knocks up 3, big one for them, and is able to get Azir a kill, but then they keep going. Malrang over this wall. Trymbi flashes over to try and follow him, misses the bubble, and then 369 says, wait a second, Nami is easy to kill.
And they're just buying time for Larssen to get here. Looks like he's about to make the play, but then they realize the Taliyah wall is coming over, so Larsen's like, nope, I'm gonna ult them away, and then I'm gonna get a kill, regroup with my team, and then get out.
Absolutely hilarious game of Red Rover. JDG, though, focusing back on the dragons. They want to put a stop to these Rogue stacking.
Exactly. Rogue may have caught up in the gold, but it's JDG having to catch up here in the Drakes. Kanavi should secure this one here with a smite, but the wave's coming in. Missing, and Kanavi gonna get hit by that. A TP shows up. Rogue may have overextended, may have overcommitted. Trymbi's trying to get himself away, but Yagao's still ready to throw another rock. Kanavi gets the kill, and Trymbi goes down. Rogue continues their retreat, but Yagao isn't done. He rides the wave right on in, gets a seismic shove back onto Larssen, and the Emperor is now the target. 369 finds the play, and Rogue have lost 2.
369 squeezes that big Gragas body through those 2 walls and finds the flash play. My goodness, JDG strikes back.
JDG is considered one of, if not the best team fighting team in the world, and you can see exactly why. You can't come to a fight half-heartedly. You have to have a clear plan, otherwise JDG will punish you.
Oh boy, Malrang goes over the wall looking for trouble, but trouble found him. Kanavi's still going forward here. He nearly has the collateral damage. The ulti cooldown just barely not there. If Kanavi has a little more time, he'll get the headshot and get the kill. 369 won't drop so easy, and Odoamne will pay with his life.
Kanavi asserting his jungle dominance with the 2-level lead here. The Graves is so abusive.
And Rogue's aggression was very quickly stopped. JDG once again fine positioned on the map. But Rogue, their over-aggression is quickly punished, and look at how quickly the gold lead is building now. They felt confident after that playing the top side, but that aggression, that over-eagerness to force a fight around the dragon fell short. And the moment that they showed an ounce of weakness, JDG was quick to capitalize.
And this is what fans have come to know and love about JDG. This fearsome mid-game, feared throughout the world. They come back in such a huge way and sweep Rogue off the map.
This is starting to look a little concerning for the European fans in the audience. But I said at the very beginning, back in draft, man, it would be quite a statement to make to come out in game 1 and just dunk on this game with the Graves with that carry power. And it's exactly what Kanavi is doing. 3rd item completed, Black Cleaver. He's gonna be deadlier than ever, and Rogue is gonna have to find a way to deal with this incredibly fed Graves. The only person on the map with more farm is the enemy mid laner. He has 110 CS up on his opponent in the jungle. Vi might as well be a cannon minion in front of this Graves.
Grave things, baby.
Level 14 for Kanavi. It is absolutely crazy how powerful he is on the map right now. And JDG, they have their eyes set on this Baron.
I mean, when you look at it, they both have boots and 3 items. The problem is, Malrang, 2 of those items are a rock and a butter knife. He's not doing so hot up against the might of this fed Graves, of this level 14 jungler, by the way. Both his solo laners are level 13. One of the enemy solo laners is level 13. Again, it's only Larssen's Azir keeping pace with this.
The man brought a butter knife to a shotgun fight, Clayton. That is going to be very difficult to win. Let's take a look at how the vision starts to close, though, because this is one of the things that JDG also do really well. It's those mid-game team fights, and then as soon as they win the fight, they completely take control of both sides of your jungle. Kanavi moving in with that Grace for another burst attempt.
Good lord, man. The burn nearly kills him. 29 HP, I believe it was.
Red buff plus smite, showcasing the damage. Kanavi looking for more. The ultimate from 369 goes a little wide, though, which means that Odoamne will be safe. Good sidestep from him, but you can see the suffocation now coming in from JDG. The vision being denied, the control that JDG have over the topside jungle, making it harder and harder for Rogue to approach. But you can see that one little ward near the topside blue of JDG's jungle. The Rogue will have an option to TP in, but I don't think they're going to get anywhere close as JDG continues to assert dominance on the Rift.
The map is so dark for Rogue. Every brush you walk into, every corner you turn, Kanavi and JDG may be waiting. So Rogue group up. They push down mid. They know they can't defend their own objectives in these fights, so they're going to trade them with JDG instead and just try to get whatever they can. It is a 4,000 gold lead for JDG right now. Rogue still having the advantage in Drakes, but that's about it. 6 turrets versus 3. That's a lot of damage. And remember, gentlemen, one of those turrets was an inhibitor turret there in the mid lane. As we square up for what might be a team fight here in mid, JDG, they look for the ulti there from 369. They're not going to find the angle, but they get the flash out of the enemy mid.
And that is very crucial. Larssen having the ability to be able to make that flash Shurima shuffle onto one of the backline members of JDG now becomes that much harder, especially with Hope and Yagao having all their summoners up. The ultimate comes out from Yagao.
Yagao gonna block them off from making it into the bottom lane. Rogue staying together. They do not want to split up and run. They know JDG can go after them. But is JDG looking for this second Infernal Drake now? Odoamne gonna be hit by Seismic Shove down to half HP. Comp coming in with the calling over onto the side, but it ain't gonna do a whole lot. Oh, he's into the pit, and he steals the Drake, but at what cost? Odoamne dies, Malrang dies. It's bullets for dinner, and Kanavi and Hope are serving him up hot.
369 is just too tanky, man. This front line refuses to die, and the single target damage from JDG was crucial as well. Yagao stunned into the polymorph from missing, basically made Odoamne obsolete. JDG get 3 kills onto Rogue, and they have a Baron in their eyes.
He's taking all right. 1,500 damage shielded by the Fimbulwinter already. 369 and the rest of JDG moving over towards that Baron to claim it as their own.
And when the Vi went into the pit, I've got to applaud Malrang for having the smite timing to steal that away, because you saw how fast he died. He knew it was a one-way trip.
And you can see that in the choke point, the best option for Rogue is to just hit 369. But look at how much he just soaks up. Comp isn't really able to threaten anything on the backline. And while this still comes through,
The butter knife!
the rest of JDG are completely fine. Odoamne's low, and look, they just cannot kill him. The heal from Yagao as well comes up clutch. I think that might have been the difference maker to keep him alive. But JDG, they walk away with all 5 members strong, and they may have lost the dragon, but they secured a Baron.
Beautiful, beautiful fight again from JDG. Nice smite there from Malrang, though. That little glimpse of hope. You know, you have to dream about winning that Dragon Soul fight, but in order to get there, you have to last another 3.5 minutes against this JDG onslaught. And Kanavi is level 16, highest level in the game.
An onslaught powered by a Baron, an onslaught powered by 7,000 gold, and an onslaught that now looks for the last remaining structure outside of the Rogue base. The mid lane tier 3 turret, remember, it's already down, so they can keep pushing this wave bottom. If that doesn't work out, boom, Yagao's already ready to go here as Malrang was charging up a Vault Breaker, but the Taliyah wall stops it in its tracks. JDG continuing to force the issue, continuing to move forward. Comp having to just completely disengage from Kanavi as Yagao will help him take down that mid lane inhibitor, and now the inhibitor turret in bot side will be the target. JDG are on a mission, and that mission will not be hindered by Rogue. The culling is eaten entirely by 369, and he does not care. Kanavi baiting Odoamne to stick around a little bit too close, takes him down to 1/4 HP. JDG are looking for the throat of the Rogue base. The first Nexus turret will fall. The second Nexus turret is under fire. 369 still at half HP. Rogue gotta find their moment. Rogue gotta try, but Rogue are gonna die. Trymbi will fall first. And now Hope is fighting back with a nice long-range ulti. Malrang can't do a thing. And Comp and Odoamne are stuck back into the fountain. JDG, they're on the Nexus, and they'll take the win in game 1.
1-0 opening up here for JDG, and let me tell you, that started straight from level 1. Really nice job coordinating and utilizing the strengths of the Graves on the early jungle invade, taking away possibilities for Malrang to even go for.
There were so many incredible things.